Here's something that'll blow your mind. An American making $120,000 a year, broke, living paycheck to paycheck, stressed constantly about money. A Japanese person making $45,000 a year, financially stable, $20,000 saved, sleeps like a baby every night. Same living expenses, completely different outcomes. And here's the crazy part. It's not about the income. I see this constantly. High earners with nothing saved. I make good money, where does it all go? Meanwhile, people making half as much are quietly building wealth using Japanese systems that have worked for generations. The difference? Not willpower, not discipline. Systems. 9 specific quiet habits that plug the leaks you don't even see, reduce desire you didn't know was triggered, and build wealth on average income. Stick to the end, because habit number 7 is the debt shield that protects the middle class, and most Americans are doing the exact opposite. Hit subscribe and comment, broke at 100K if you make good money but have nothing saved. Or drop quiet system if you're already doing this. Now let me show you where your money's actually disappearing. Number 1. The micro leak problem. Death by 1,000 cuts. So let's talk about where your money actually goes. And I'm not talking about your mortgage or your car payment. You know about those. You agonize over those. You negotiate those. I'm talking about the invisible stuff that's quietly bankrupting you. It's not the big purchases killing you. It's the death by 1,000 cuts. The $6 coffee times 20 workdays equals $120 monthly. The $15 lunch because you were too busy to pack times 20 days, $300 a month. Delivery fees every week because cooking felt like too much work, $50. Random Amazon purchases at 2 a.m. because you couldn't sleep, another $100 monthly. Subscriptions you forgot you even signed up for, $80 is disappearing automatically. Add that up, $650 every single month, $7,800 a year. On stuff you barely remember buying. And here's where it gets painful. Over 10 years with 8% compound interest potential, that's $113,000 you just incinerated. For convenience and impulse purchases, you won't remember 6 months from now. Studies show that the average American wastes 30% of their income on what they call small stuff. Individual purchases don't register. $5 here, $10 there. Your brain dismisses them as meaningless. But collectively, it's devastating, like bleeding out from 1,000 paper cuts while wondering why you feel weak. Meanwhile, Japanese people are hyper-aware of every single yen. They track purchases that Americans wouldn't even think twice about. Eliminate micro leaks systematically. Save 30% more on the same income. Not by making more money, by plugging holes. Guy I know was making $90,000, always broke. Started tracking every purchase under $20 for 1 week. Just 1 week. Coffee, snacks, apps, random fees, tips, and convenience charges. Added it up, $180 on nothing he could even remember clearly. Monthly, $720. Yearly, $86.40. Over 10 years with compound growth, $124,000 lost to micro leaks he didn't know existed. He cut half those purchases, didn't eliminate everything, just the truly pointless ones. Saved $4,300 annually. 5 years later, $26,000 in actual savings from money he literally didn't know he was wasting. Micro leaks were quietly destroying his finances at a high income. This is where wealth disappears. Not in the dramatic purchases you stress over, in the tiny invisible ones you don't notice. You wouldn't leave your garden hose running 24/7, but you're doing the financial equivalent every single day. But here's what's behind it that few people understand. Because fixing micro leaks is just treating symptoms. The real disease? It's not actually about the money at all. Number 2. Systems beat income every time. Here's the thing that breaks people's understanding of money. You're making $60,000, you're broke. Get a raise to $80,000, somehow still broke. Promotion to $100,000? Congratulations, you're broke at 6 figures now. Income keeps climbing, wealth stays flat. What the hell is happening? The income trap. Everyone thinks, I just need to make more money and everything will be fine. But here's the brutal reality. Income without a system equals staying broke, just with nicer stuff and a higher credit card balance. Let me show you 2 real people. Person A makes $120,000 annually. No system for their money. spends unconsciously. Lifestyle automatically expands to match income. No tracking, no plan, just vibes and hoping it works out. End of the year? Maybe 3,000 saved if they're lucky. Constantly stressed about money, despite objectively making a high income. Person B makes 45,000, less than half of person A, but they've got a Japanese money system. Track every dollar manually. Save before spending, not after. Eliminate waste systematically through deliberate choices. End of year, 12,000 saved. Sleeps perfectly at night. Zero money anxiety. Actually enjoys life more despite making way less. Same city, similar living expenses. Person B saved 4 times more on 1/3 of the income. The difference isn't intelligence, isn't discipline, isn't luck. It's system versus no system. And Japan proves this works at a national level. Lower average income than the US, higher savings rate than the US, less consumer debt than in the US, more financial stability across the population. How? Not higher salaries, better habits and systems baked into the culture. Americans upgrade their lifestyle with income. Make 60,000, live on 60,000. Make 80,000, live on 80,000. Make 120,000, live on 120,000. Always broke, just with progressively nicer stuff to be broke with. The Japanese keep their lifestyle stable regardless of income increases. Make 45,000, live on 35,000. Make 60,000, still live on 35,000. That widening gap becomes automatic savings. Wealth builds itself without effort or discipline because the system does the work. Income is gasoline. The system is the container. Without a container, it doesn't matter how much gas you're pumping. It all leaks out before you can use it. 2 teachers, both making 52,000. Teacher A constantly says, "I don't make enough to save." Spent everything, stayed perpetually broke. Teacher B implemented the Japanese cash envelope system, tracked every dollar, and eliminated waste systematically. Saved 800 months on an identical salary. 3 years later, Teacher B has 28,800 saved. Is Teacher A making the same exact amount? 0. Income identical. One had a system, one didn't. System beat income decisively. Here's something you need to pay attention to, because systems work but they keep failing. And the reason why is going to make you rethink everything about money. Number 3, the psychological truth. Money is emotional. Alright, here's why every budget you've ever tried has failed. And I'm not blaming you, I'm blaming the approach. Because everyone treats money like it's a math problem. Earn X, spend Y, save Z. Simple spreadsheet, easy formula. Should work perfectly, right? Except it doesn't work. Ever. You know why? Because money is 90% psychology and 10% math, and you're trying to solve an emotional problem with a logical solution. That's like bringing a calculator to a therapy session. Let me show you why people actually overspend. You're stressed from work, so you do retail therapy. You're exhausted at the end of the day, so you pay for expensive convenience instead of cooking. You're sad, so you emotionally purchase something to feel better temporarily. You're bored on a Sunday afternoon, so you scroll and shop for entertainment. You're anxious about the future, so you buy things that feel like security. None of this is logical. All of it is emotional. The American approach to this? Willpower and discipline. Just don't spend. Control yourself. Be stronger. And it fails constantly because you're trying to fight emotions with logic. Emotions win that fight every single time. It's not even close. The Japanese approach is completely different. They don't fight emotions. They remove the emotional triggers entirely. Mindful finance. Slow down decisions. Create friction before purchases. Change the environment so emotions can't hijack your wallet. They're not trying to be stronger than their feelings. They're building systems that work regardless of how they feel. Example, American approach, I will not impulse buy. That's willpower. Relies on you being emotionally strong at your weakest moment. Japanese approach, I will wait 30 days before buying anything non-essential. That's a system. Works whether you're strong or weak. One fails the moment you're tired, stressed, or vulnerable. The other works automatically because the rule doesn't care about your emotional state. Think about when you make the worst money decisions. When you're tired, right? When you're stressed, when you're rushed, your brain is compromised and emotions take over. Japanese solution? Never make money decisions in those states. Create rules that prevent it from even being possible. The woman spent $600 monthly on stress shopping after brutal workdays. Knew she shouldn't. Couldn't stop. Changed one thing. Deleted the Amazon app, unsubscribed from every retail email, and removed saved credit cards from websites. Making impulse buying requires 5 steps instead of 1 click. Her stress didn't change. Her purchases dropped to 100 monthly, saved $6,000 yearly. Willpower stayed the same. The system changed everything. Friction beat willpower decisively. Don't fight emotions with discipline. You'll lose every time. Change the environment so emotions can't trigger spending in the first place. But that's just the psychology explaining why people fail. Now let me show you the first Japanese pillar that actually fixes it, and it starts with something so simple, you'll think I'm joking. Number 4. Pillar 1. Kakeibo, awareness and control. So here's the foundation of the entire Japanese money system. It's called Kakeibo, a household financial ledger that's been around since 1904. Over 100 years of proof that this works. And the concept is almost embarrassingly simple. Write down everything you spend, by hand, with an actual pen and paper. I can feel you rolling your eyes through the screen. There's an app for that. Why would I handwrite it like some kind of medieval accountant? Because typing is thoughtless, and handwriting creates friction, and that friction creates awareness. And awareness changes behavior automatically. Studies prove this. People who handwrite their expenses spend 15 to 20% less than people who use apps. Not because they're restricting themselves more, because they actually see reality instead of numbers on a screen, and they can ignore. Kakeibo forces you into 4 categories for every purchase. Survival, that's rent, utilities, basic food. Optional, restaurants, entertainment, the fun stuff. Cultural, books, classes, experiences that develop you. Unexpected, repairs, emergencies, the curveballs life throws. You can't hide optional spending as survival spending when you're writing it down and categorizing honestly. Reality becomes impossible to avoid. And then at the end of every month, you ask yourself 4 questions. How much money do I have? How much did I want to save? How much did I actually spend? And here's the big one. How can I improve? Not judgment, not guilt, not shame. Just honest observation and one small improvement. This isn't a budget trying to control you. It's a mirror showing you reality, and reality changes behavior way more effectively than rules and restrictions ever could. The other critical piece, pay yourself first. Before anything else, savings leave your account automatically. Not save what's left over at the end of the month. That's a fantasy. There's never anything left over. It's spend what's left after saving. Completely flips the equation. Guy started basic Kakeibo, wrote every purchase for 30 days. Discovered $380 monthly going to subscriptions he completely forgot existed. Streaming services, apps, memberships charging automatically. Another $250 on convenience purchases he couldn't even remember. Delivery fees, impulse items, random charges. He didn't cancel everything immediately, just became aware it was happening. 6 months later, I saved $4,200 without feeling deprived even slightly. A year later, $9,800 saved. Not from earning more, from seeing clearly what was actually happening. You can't fix what you can't see. Kakeibo makes invisible spending visible. Invisibility changes everything automatically without force or willpower. Do you see anything unusual? The answer is right here, because Kakeibo gives you awareness, but the Japanese don't stop there. The next pillar removes the temptation entirely before it even starts. Number 5. Pillar 2. Danshari, reduced desire. Here's where Japanese money philosophy gets really interesting. Because Kakeibo shows you what you're spending, but Danshari attacks why you want to spend in the first place. It's a 3-part philosophy. Dan means refuse what you don't need. Sha means discard what doesn't serve you. Ri means separate from attachment to possessions. And before you think this is some minimalist aesthetic Instagram nonsense, understand, this is about financial freedom, not looking cool with empty shelves. Here's the connection nobody talks about. The more stuff you're surrounded by, the more desire you feel for new stuff. Cluttered space creates a cluttered mind, creates a constant low-level desire for more. It's a vicious cycle. Is your closet overflowing? Your brain sees chaos and thinks, I have nothing to wear, even though you objectively have 50 shirts. So you buy more, making the problem worse. Clean space does the opposite. You see what you have, you appreciate it. You stop buying duplicates of things you already own but forgot about. The consumption cycle breaks naturally. The 30-day rule is the Danshari weapon. Want something? Wait 30 days. 90% of desires fade completely. Just evaporate like they were never real. The 10% that remain after 30 days? Those are actually important. Buy them guilt-free. Then there's the 3-question filter before any purchase. Do I need it? Does it serve a purpose? Does it bring genuine joy? If the answer is no to any of those questions, you don't buy it. Simple. Brutal. Effective. And here's the environmental piece people miss. Reduce desire by reducing stimulation. Declutter your home. Less stuff means less desire to add to the chaos. Unsubscribe from every marketing email. Less exposure to sales means less temptation. Delete shopping apps from your phone. More friction means fewer impulse buys. Stop browsing shopping sites for fun. Consumption shouldn't be entertainment. Your environment shapes your desire more than your willpower ever could. Control the environment. Control the spending automatically. The woman's closet had $8,000 worth of clothes, wore 20% of them regularly. Started Danshari, donated 60%, kept only favorites. Expected to feel loss or regret. Instead felt incredible freedom. Stopped buying clothes for 8 months straight, had everything she actually needed. Saved $3,200 that year alone from not buying clothes she would have barely worn. Realized she'd been buying because the closet chaos made her feel like she had nothing. Clarity ended the consumption addiction. Desire isn't natural, it's triggered by your environment. Cluttered space creates a desire for more clutter. Clear space creates contentment with enough. The Japanese reduce spending by reducing desire itself at the source. It sounds simple, but the hardest part is what's about to be told next. Because Danshari stops you from buying new things, but this next pillar completely changes how you treat the things you already have. Number 6. Pillar 3. Mottainai. Alright, let's talk about the Japanese concept that has no direct English translation but saves people thousands annually. It's called Mottainai, which roughly means regret over waste, but it's deeper than that. It's a Buddhist-rooted belief that everything has inherent value, and wasting that value is almost spiritually offensive. Americans have been trained by corporations to replace themselves constantly. Do shoes wear out? Buy new ones, $120. Shirt tears? Buy new, $60. Appliance breaks? Buy new, $400. Phone slows down? Upgrade, $800. Annual replacement spending for most Americans? Over $5,000 easy. The Japanese spend on maintenance instead of replacement. Shoe wear? Repair them, $25. Shirt tears? Mend it, $5 or free if you learn how. Appliance breaks? Fix it, $80. Phone slows? Keep using it, literally free. Annual maintenance spending? About $800. Savings, $4,200 minimum. Same functionality, a fraction of the cost, same life being lived. Completely different financial outcome. And here's the quality mindset piece. Buy once, buy quality. Cheap stuff you replace constantly costs more long-term than expensive stuff you use for years. Math example that'll blow your mind. $30 shoes replaced 3 times yearly equals $90 annually times 10 years equals $900 total. 150 quality boots worn for 10 years, $150 total. Quality actually costs less if you use it completely. Before replacing anything, ask these questions. Can it be repaired? Is the repair cost worth it compared to replacement? YouTube how to fix whatever it is. You'd be shocked what you can learn in 10 minutes. Get a repair quote. Usually, repair costs 20 to 40% of the replacement cost. Man's $80 jeans tore at the knee. I was about to buy a new one. Asked a tailor first, $15 repair. Jeans lasted another 3 years. The laptop slowed down dramatically, was about to drop $1,200 on an upgrade. Factory reset fixed it completely, free. Kept it for 4 more years. Kitchen appliance broke. Got quoted $120 for repair or $600 for new. Repaired it. Lasted 5 more years. The Mottainai approach saved him $6,000 over 5 years on stuff he would have replaced without thinking twice. Still using everything. Repair celebrates value and history. Replacement wastes value and resets to zero. Americans have been trained by planned obsolescence to replace. The Japanese have been trained by cultural values to respect and maintain. Mottainai isn't about being cheap. It's about being intentional, honoring the value of things by using them completely instead of discarding them the moment they need attention. All of the above will be meaningless if you miss this last detail, because the 3 pillars give you awareness, reduce desire, and respect value. But there's one more Japanese secret that protects everything you're building. Number 7, the debt shield, Japanese anti-debt culture. Here's the shield that protects everything you're building with the first 3 pillars. And it's the thing Americans are doing completely backwards. Japanese anti-debt culture. Let me paint you the American reality first. Average credit card debt, $6,200 at 18% interest. Average car loan, $32,000. Average student loan, $37,000. We've normalized debt so completely that people brag about their credit scores like it's a video game high score. I've got an 800. Congratulations, you're really good at borrowing money. Japanese culture treats debt completely differently. Many people use cash or debit only. Credit card usage is way lower than in the US. Debt is seen as failure, not a financial tool. There's actual cultural shame around consumer debt. The philosophy is brutally simple. If you can't afford it with the money you have, you don't buy it. Let me show you the mathematics of why this matters. That $6,200 credit card balance at 18% interest with minimum payments takes over 15 years to pay off. Total amount paid, $11,000 plus. You just gave banks $5,000 for purchases you forgot about years ago. That's not a financial tool, that's financial suicide on the installment plan. Cash and debit force reality. You see money leave immediately. Feel the cost viscerally, can't spend what you don't physically have. It's a natural spending governor built into the payment method. And here's what kills the middle class specifically: consumer debt. Not mortgage debt for an appreciating asset. That's different. I'm talking about debt for depreciating garbage. Cars, clothes, electronics, and vacations are charged to credit cards. The interest payments steal compound growth. You're working to pay banks instead of working to build wealth. It's permanent financial imprisonment disguised as managing payments. The Japanese avoid this trap completely. Only acceptable debt, mortgage because the house appreciates. Everything else? Save first, buy later. Or don't buy. Car, clothes, electronics, vacations. If you can't save for it, you genuinely can't afford it, regardless of what the payment plan says. The couple had $18,000 in credit card debt, paying $420 monthly just in interest. Principal wasn't shrinking, just servicing the debt forever. Adopted the Japanese mindset, cut up the cards, switched to cash only. The first 3 months were uncomfortable, couldn't impulse buy anything, but also couldn't add new debt. Paid it down aggressively over 2 years. Now completely debt-free, saving that $420 monthly that was evaporating to interest. That $420 invested at 8% becomes $70,000 in 15 years. Their debt was literally stealing their future while they thought they were managing it. Debt is the enemy of the middle class. Rich people use debt strategically to appreciate assets. Poor people use debt for survival. The middle class that avoids consumer debt entirely, they're the ones who actually make it. Wait, the most important part is in the following story. Because the debt shield protects wealth. But here's what all of this actually builds toward: the life nobody sees but everyone should want. Number 8, quiet wealth versus loud wealth. Let's talk about 2 completely different types of wealth in America. And one of them is fake, expensive, and exhausting. The other is real, cheap, and peaceful. Guess which one everyone's chasing? Loud wealth looks like this. Brand new car with a payment you can barely afford. Design everything with logos screaming for attention. A house that's been renovated on a home equity line of credit. An Instagram feed that looks like a magazine. And behind it all, constant stress. One emergency away from total financial collapse. Net worth is often negative despite appearances. Sleep quality is absolutely terrible because you're lying awake at 3 a.m. wondering how you're going to make next month's payments. Quiet wealth, Japanese style, looks completely different. Paid off the older car that runs perfectly fine. Quality basics with 0 logos because you're not advertising for brands. Modest, well-maintained home that's not trying to impress anyone. Social media presence is boring as hell because you're not performing for strangers. Completely calm financial state. Emergency fund stacked deep. Net worth is growing steadily every month. Sleep quality is perfect because there's nothing to worry about. Same neighborhood, completely different internal realities. One is performing wealth for validation, the other is actually having wealth for security. Loud wealth needs constant validation from others. Endless upgrades to stay relevant. Social media performance that's exhausting. Keeping up with the Joneses who are also broke. It's expensive and soul-draining. Quiet wealth needs nothing from anyone. Secure in actual assets nobody sees. No one to impress. Internal validation only. Cheap and incredibly peaceful. Japanese cultural preference is clear. Don't display wealth, don't discuss money, live modestly regardless of actual assets. Wealth is private, not public. The result? No lifestyle inflation pressure from comparisons. No stress from keeping up appearances. Focus on actual security instead of performance. Building real wealth silently while everyone else is busy looking rich. The man spent $2,400 monthly maintaining his successful appearance. Luxury car lease, designer clothes, expensive restaurants to be seen at. Looked wealthy to everyone, had $800 in actual savings, switched to the Japanese quiet wealth philosophy. $800 used car quality basics and cooking at home. Spending dropped to $800 monthly. Started saving $1,600 monthly instead. 3 years later, $57,600 in savings, plus compound growth. Looks completely regular now. It is actually financially stable. Quiet wealth won decisively. Looking rich keeps you broke. Being quietly stable makes you actually rich. The Japanese choose quite every single time. Lower stress, higher wealth, better sleep. Stop performing for strangers who don't care. Start building for yourself, who definitely does. Don't jump to conclusions because what comes next can change your perspective completely. The practical roadmap to actually implementing all of this without getting overwhelmed. Number 9, the 6-month roadmap. Alright, I know what you're thinking. This sounds amazing, but where the hell do I actually start? 9 habits feel overwhelming. I can't do everything at once. You're right. Don't. The Japanese don't implement everything simultaneously either. They build gradually, layer by layer. Kaizen approach. Small, consistent improvement over time. Here's the exact 6-month roadmap that makes this manageable. Months 1 and 2, foundation with Kakeibo. Week 1, buy a notebook. Write every single purchase for 14 days. Don't change anything yet, just observe reality. Week 3, add categorization. Survival, optional, cultural, and unexpected for every purchase. Keep writing. Week 5, implement pay yourself first. Automate savings before spending anything else. Keep tracking. Week 7, first monthly review. Ask the 4 questions. Choose 1 improvement for month 3, just 1. Months 3 and 4, reduction with Danshari habits. Week 9, implement the 30-day rule for everything non-essential. 3-question filter before every purchase. Continue Kakeibo tracking, that never stops. Week 11, declutter 1 room completely. Notice how desire drops naturally. Start a bento mindset, cook at home 3 times weekly minimum. Week 13, switch to cash for all discretionary spending. Feel how it changes behavior automatically. Keep saving on autopilot. Week 15, second monthly review. Adjust 1 more thing. Build on existing progress, don't restart. Months 5 and 6, optimization with Mottainai. Week 17, before replacing anything, check repair costs first. Learn basic maintenance skills. Choose quality over cheap moving forward. Week 19, declutter the second area of the home. Notice spending has dropped naturally without effort. Emergency fund building itself now. Week 21, address debt if it exists. Highest interest rate first. If no debt, increase the savings rate by $50 monthly. System running smoothly. Week 23, final comprehensive review. Compare month 1 to month 6. Celebrate specific measurable wins. Expected outcomes after 6 months. Spending awareness is completely automatic. Microleaks are plugged without thinking about it. Savings are consistent and growing. Stress is noticeably lower. Sleep quality is better. System self-sustaining doesn't require willpower anymore. Don't try to be perfect. Try to be consistent. 1 new habit every 2 weeks. Let each one solidify before adding the next. Build the foundation properly. The woman started month 1 writing purchases and felt silly doing it. Month 2 added savings automation, which felt restrictive and tight. In month 3, I implemented the 30-day rule and felt deprived initially. In month 4, she noticed something shifted. She stopped wanting things automatically. Month 5 realized she was saving $680 monthly without trying or feeling restricted. Month 6 review, 4,000 saved, stress completely gone, system running itself. Slow, methodical build worked. All-at-once approach would have failed by week 2. Kaizen 1. Don't sprint toward this. A steady walk gets you there. The Japanese build habits slowly but permanently. 6 months create a lifetime system that runs itself. Start small, build consistently, and arrive wealthy and calm. Look, here's everything. The Japanese prove wealth isn't about income, it's about systems that plug leaks. Micro leaks destroy wealth silently, $10 to $20 purchases adding to 1,000 yearly loss. Systems beat income. 45,000 with Japanese habits outperforms 120,000 without a system. Money is 90% psychology. Fight environment, not willpower. 3 pillars. Kakeibo creates awareness through handwriting, Danshari reduces desire through decluttering and the 30-day rule, and Mottainai respects value through repair over replacement. Debt shield protects the middle class. The Japanese avoid consumer debt religiously. Quiet wealth beats loud wealth every time. Looking rich keeps you broke, being quietly stable makes you actually rich. 6-month roadmap, months 1 to 2 build Kakeibo foundation, months 3 add reduction habits, months 5 to 6 optimize and refine. 1 habit every 2 weeks. This week, buy a notebook, start Kakeibo, write every purchase for 7 days. Don't change anything, just observe. Next week, add savings automation. Comment broke at 100K if you make good money but save nothing. Kakeibo starting if you're beginning today. Quiet wealth if you already live this way. What next? Comment 1. Kakeibo template exactly how to use it. 2. Complete Danshari decluttering guide. 3. Eliminating debt Japanese methods. 4. Quiet wealth investing. Stop chasing higher income. Build better systems. Japanese people making 45,000 sleep better than Americans making 120 because they plugged leaks, reduced desire, respected value, and avoided debt. Wealth isn't loud, it's quiet, stable, boring. Choose systems over income. Start Kakeibo today.